Righto, away we go.
Ken, how do you feel to extend your time at Alberton?
Look, I'm incredibly proud to have the opportunity to continue on, and it's a massive tick for me and for our football club and for the way we go about things and the way we've gone about things for a long period of time. Couldn't be more grateful for David, Richo, Chris, the board, everyone at this footy club. I'm the senior coach, but this really is a football club that works with everyone's support and help, and I don't get to this position today without all those people in the background helping me.
Is it nice for this all to be over? I guess all the speculation, all the questions about it?
Yeah, yes. I can't sit there and say it hasn't been on my mind at times throughout the year. It certainly has, and but typically as a football coach, you have that pressure more often than not at some point in your career.
How long did the negotiations take?
It didn't take long at all. I mean, the reality was, Chris and myself mainly, it was simply a matter of having a conversation around, the support that the club have given me and the passion that I still have for the job with the club. It made it pretty simple. Chris and I've got this unbelievable relationship that we work so well together, and once the question was, do you want to? Did they want me to? It was a simple yes from both parties.
You comfortable with 2 years? Does that sit comfortably with you?
Yeah, I think ultimately, I am. I'm very comfortable with that. I mean, I think I should touch on the fact that this is not just my decision. This is my family's decision. I've got a great wife, Donna, who supports me and my family with everything that I have to do this job. And we've been doing it for a long time. Not just me. We've been doing it for a long time now. And I get that can wear you down. It can wear things down at home as well as much as it can wear everyone else down. It's a tough job, but it's one that I still love, and it's one that I've got great support still at home. And 2 years, who knows? We don't put deadlines on it. We'll just see where it ends up. But 2 more years is, I'm just grateful for the opportunity.
It'll take you to a 13th year. It's pretty rare for the modern era. Is that something that you're proud of as well, that you can beat the one club for so long?
I'm really proud of the club. I mean, ultimately we're talking around me and as the senior coach, but ultimately I'm proud of the club and the stability in this football club and the culture that we've built at this footy club. No one gets it more than us internally and the players, myself, that we actually haven't won. Haven't ultimately won a premiership, but you've got to look at the things that we've done over that journey and the change and the list changes that we've made. Even now in the last, we've now qualified throughout the last 4 years in the top 4, which is a remarkable performance. But ultimately, until we achieve ultimate success, we'll always get marked on not having achieved what we need to, and I get that and I understand the passion for that.
Was there any time over this year where you thought you wouldn't be standing here with a new contract? You're
asking me that question? I was probably feeling some type of heat around round 3, I reckon, at some point, but that was on it. I was actually okay with all that, and I think the club was okay. We knew, and that's why we set out at the start of the year. We had a time frame, we had a deadline to work to, and we wanted to work that and stick to that because we knew that pressure was going to come at some point. Footy seasons are so hard; they're up and down all the time. So you just got to maintain your focus on what you need to do, and we did that really well as a football club. But yeah, there's clearly some times where, but that's not just this year. I think it's every year when you're in this game.
How about some of the criticisms from people who've done a lot at this football club? Did that sting, and how much attention did you pay to that?
No. As I've said before, they're all opinions and they're all entitled to their opinions. From my point of view and from the club's point of view, we know what's going on inside and we know how hard we're all working. Ultimately, I'm going to say it one more time, that it's not just the senior coach that organises and runs a football club. It's done, we're done as a coaching team for a start. We've got a whole coaching team that looks after our playing group. I'm the figurehead of that, but ultimately, we understand people get disappointed. It's not person in the game. There's no one in this football club that works inside the walls that isn't disappointed around not ultimately trying to win and be successful. Every club sets out to win. It's a hard industry that we work in, and we're not going to stop trying to turn that into a win at some point.
Was there any discussion around maybe signing a deal after a final or a sort of a cutthroat game? Was that never part of the conversation?
No, it wasn't. I mean, we've said right from the start of the year in January, I think it was, we're going to talk in August. And for those who heard that conversation in January would have been smart enough to realise that was before finals. I don't think 1 or 2 results in this industry should be the reason you make change or don't make change. I think it's ultimately a body of work that you look at and reflect on, and you go, where are we at? What are we doing? You look at a club this week who took the field in the weekend, the 3rd youngest list on the field. You've got to look at us as a different list than what you might have been looking at 5 or 6 years ago. This is a different list and a different team, and hopefully, ultimately, the boys can get the results they look.
Do you think
a lot of discussion on what might happen at the end of 2025? Can we just clarify the fact from the fiction and whether Kari is in line to take over at some point? That's
No.
speculation. Is that
No.
correct?
I think we've said it pretty clearly right all the way through, and Josh, we're just grateful that Josh has recommitted and wants to be a part of our football club. Josh is a really impressive young coach who's at some stage, and I've said before, will coach himself at some point. I'd love nothing more if that was at Port Adelaide at some stage, but there's no succession plan in place. There's no end date. There's basically a commitment from Josh to continue to help us build, as there is with the rest of the coaches. And I've said this after the game on the week. If you thought Josh was going to want and need a succession plan to commit to Port Adelaide Football Club, they don't know Josh well. I mean, Josh just moved a young family interstate last year with 4 children. I can understand why he's happy to be around this football club.
So we're talking August 2025, is that?
Yeah, might set the deadline now. Get it out there now, August 2025.
Does it just add to, I guess, more coaching security at the club though, just having someone of Josh's calibre?
Yeah. No, our coaching team. Josh is a really important part of it, but so are all the other coaches that work in it. Whether that's from development right through to the line coaches, they all play a really big role. As do our conditioning coaches. As I keep saying, we all think it's just one. It's not just one person anymore. This job's just too big for one person on their own. One person guides the program, but I get great support from Chris as well, who's the footy manager. So the two of us are running a program really well, but ultimately all the people who work in that are really, really critical.
What was the reaction like when the players were told?
Yeah, I don't know. I think they were reasonably happy. Perhaps those who were in the team were happy, and those who weren't in the team mightn't have been as happy. I don't know. No, look, it's hard for me when I talk around that playing group not to be emotional about them because of the support they gave me and they give me every time they go out and play. They give everything they've got, and I've got some great warriors who in Trav and TJ, and then Ollie, that have been there the whole way with me, and then I've got this next group of people who are coming through. I value connection, I value care, and I hope that, actually I don't hope, I know my players feel the same way around us as a coaching team. They care and they're connected.
How big is moving to the bench been? It feels like a trivial thing on the surface, but it was clearly a turning point in the season.
Yeah, it's certainly worked out. So far, it's worked out really well for us. I mean, I think it comes back to that care and connection. I think the boys understand and have required and wanted a little bit more close touch when it comes to having conversations within games. So it's worked really well. I've got, as I keep saying it, this great supporting group who are watching from above, who can keep us up to date with what's going on out in the field if we can't quite see it. I think the value for us is the connection from player to me. It's been really significant.
What's the value for you? I mean, is it the same? We
Yeah.
don't talk about the players, but I guess has it reinvigorate yourself in any way?
Yeah, I've got to be honest. I've absolutely loved it being down there because you get a more intense feel for the game, and you get a more a connected feel to the game, and you know the pressures that the players are under. I'm amazed at how much they come off and they are really hurting about what they haven't quite been able to get done, and they just need some reassurance that they're really good players and they're really good people, and if they just go back out and stick to what they know they can do well, they'll be okay. But sometimes performance is real. It puts them under a fair bit of pressure.
I guess it doesn't matter now, but were you contacted by any other clubs this year, or?
Doesn't matter now, but no.
We've seen some of the great coaches of the game take time away this year, and you spoke earlier in the year about the pressures that you're under. Did that factor into your decision at all? Was there any point where you thought maybe I've had enough of this?
No, I think that's a conversation I have at home first and foremost with Donna and the family. Is more around, it's a pretty big job to take on, and you don't just cop the criticism yourself. Your family, unfortunately, have to endure a fair bit of that as well. But once I've got their support, I've got the energy, and I've always loved what I do. I'm lucky. I mean, I don't know why sometimes. I don't know why I love what I do so much, but I can't wait to get up each day and turn back up.
What do you think this might do for the playing group ahead of finals? Do you think you'll do weight off the shoulders, anything like that? Or?
Yeah, I don't know. I think obviously speculation will be what will it or won't it do, and you know what we'll do? We'll judge it at the end, and that's what people do. People who will write the stories will say whether it was successful or not, and if it wasn't, they'll blame it. I don't know. I don't get mixed up, and I think it's false reporting in some ways after the event.
Do you understand why some fans maybe wanted, from a contract point of view, it judged at the end of the season as well?
Yeah, I understand our fans' passion. That's what I do get. And as a football club, we are who we are because of our fans, and their commitment to wanting success is real. I share their passion. I share their commitment. I ask them just to stay on board and hang on and stick at it and keep going, because everything that's worthwhile in this world, you've got to keep working for.
Did you take a moment, Ken, at home with Donna, just to say, right, we're in for another couple, toast to that success sort of thing, and just reflect on how far you've come? I mean, like you say,
Yeah, we do, because now we've got an extended family here now in Adelaide. We've got grandchildren, we've got all those sorts of things that, you know, you build your life around. And luckily for us, this football club's now complete part of that building our family as well. So, yeah, we certainly do have to have that. We do and did have those conversations around what's right for us, but more importantly, am I right for the football club? I didn't want the football club not to have someone who didn't have passion. I've still got that.
The only
grand final feeling, I suppose the only day that you haven't played in, really, as a coach, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's the one that's missing, and it's the one we're chasing. Ultimately, that question will keep coming up until we succeed. And we'll get there at some point.
have you been better placed?
Look, when you qualify high, you give yourself a great chance. We've qualified high already, gives yourselves a great chance, but no guarantees. You know, you've only got to watch footy week in, week out, and you know how tight it is. And particularly when you get to the end, you know there's going to be small margins games. It's a bounce of the ball. Like, seriously, we've been involved in a couple of prelims where a bounce of the ball costs us an opportunity. That's what happens. I've been lucky enough in my past to be in a part of a winning grand final because of a toe poke in the middle of the ground. I mean, simple things like that are the difference. That's what happens. All good? Thank you.